Your story isn't over. No matter how messy, painful, or uncertain things feel, you are capable of writing the next chapter, and often that chapter becomes the most powerful part of your legacy.
On cam, ready in 3, 2, 1. This is a special episode of Unknown to Known. We're taking you into the green room. This will be a Greenroom Pep Talk by John Ulsh. So if you're someone who is facing challenges or overcoming something horrific as he did, and you're looking for a way forward, John's words are meant to help you fuel your journey and push you into a mission-driven purpose. These Greenroom Pep Talks are meant to help you push yourself beyond where you imagine you can be right now. We want you to feel confident to show up on camera no matter what you have going on at home. Because if you start showing up in the scroll, online, on YouTube, you could potentially make more opportunities come your way. See, as a television news producer, if I received a pitch and that professional wasn't anywhere online, it made it really hard for me to justify putting them on national television. So if you're someone who thinks you could be that expert, weighing in on stories on a national level, on a local level, within your niche, as an expert, then you want to start putting yourself online and putting yourself out there in a more professional way, showing up on camera and using your social media as your own media channel. Program your feeds. Program them to showcase all you have to offer. If you want to speak on camera, start. If you want to start weighing in on topics within your niche, start weighing in on those stories using your social media. If you don't have any podcast interviews or on-camera conversations for YouTube, make them. Start creating that content that helps you look more appealing to the media so that you can start receiving the opportunities that you once only dreamed of. If you start embracing your voice, there's so much that could come your way. So as a television producer, the green room is where guests would sit before they go out on stage or on set to talk to the guests and share their talking points. And this green room was always a place where they could regroup, breathe, think through what they want to say. And I want to create that space for you. So if you're looking to be on camera, for social media, YouTube, a podcast, television interview, a stage, I want you to think of these green room pep talks. We want to push you and propel you to move forward. As John talks about in his conversation on Unknown to Known, we want to give you that fuel, the fuel to propel you into the future with promise. Be sure to check out his episode. And now here's John with some words of advice, poolside, from his house.
Hey everyone, John Ulsh here. Thank you for listening to my conversation on Unknown to Known. If you're listening right now and you're in the middle of something hard, maybe it's loss, maybe it's health, maybe it's a setback that's shaking your confidence, I want you to know you're not alone. I've walked through the darkest valleys myself, and what I've discovered is the very thing that breaks us can actually build us if we let it. When I was recovering from my accident, I kept coming back to 3 truths that keep me moving forward. First, don't measure your progress against anyone else's. Your journey is yours. Comparison will rob you of the small victories that actually prove you're moving forward. Second, embrace small wins. Healing, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, isn't about giant leaps. It's about stacking little wins day after day. That's what creates real comebacks. And third, decide before the storm who you want to be. We can't control what life throws at us, but we can control how we'll show up. That choice, made daily, is what builds an unbreakable spirit. I share a lot more of these lessons and the framework I call READY method in my new book, The Upside Down, which is out now, and it's about turning setbacks into setups for something greater. Here's what I wanted you to take away today. Your story isn't over. No matter how messy, painful, or uncertain things feel, you are capable of writing the next chapter, and often that chapter becomes the most powerful part of your legacy. So keep going. Take the next step, no matter how small. Celebrate and remember what feels like might actually be the beginning of your comeback. If this resonates, I'd love for you to check out the Upside Down. I poured my heart into it because I believe that it can help anyone facing adversity find their strength to rebuild stronger than before. Stay strong, stay unbreakable, and remember, your best days aren't behind you, they're still ahead.
Thanks so much, John. And remember, you can grab his book from the description of this show or podcast, wherever you're listening or watching. We have a link to his book. It's on my Amazon storefront. And if you want to connect with John, I also have links to his website and his social media there. Be sure to connect with him and let him know if you heard this episode and were compelled to reach out as a result. You know, as a television news producer, we were always talking about horrific tragedies. When you have someone like John who can really weigh in on what it takes to overcome and get through and to push beyond, he can really relate to any tragedy. And whenever we were looking for guests, it was sometimes hard to find that former victim or someone who could really relate to what the victims are going through in a horrific accident or a big crash. And the fact that he overcame such a tragedy and has become so mission driven, he actually has tips that can help people get through and become more than they are or ever imagined becoming. So that makes him an expert that's worth considering. And that's why I wanted to feature him on this podcast. If you are listening and you feel like you are on a journey from unknown to known, and you want to start using your expertise to either attract the press or start leaning into the media more, reach out. I am booking guests for 2026 at this point, but I do want to make sure that we connect. And if you have a book coming out and I need to reshuffle to fit you in, I'll do that too. So reach out. hello@oncamready.com, and I'll have that email in the description as well. Thanks again for listening, and we hope these words of wisdom help you in your moment of need before you're going on camera or taking a stage. And come back because there'll be more each week. We issue the Greenroom Pep Talks on Thursdays. And be sure to check out Unknown to Known. It drops every Tuesday. See ya.